In today's Leeds news, additional pre-season details, Gnonto move talk, Farke to be announced, pre-season day one, Rodrigo wanted by several clubs, and Brendan Aaronson agrees deal with Union Berlin. Morning, folks. Stuart here at The View on the 4th of July with your Leeds United news. First things first, happy Independence Day to all the American people who watch this channel. Have a great day. And then today could be a very big day for Leeds as well, with Daniel Farke expected to be announced. I will timestamp this at 10:35 a.m. Just in case he's already been announced. We could just say Daniel Farke is the new Leeds United manager. So it looks like things are moving. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes, but it will start off with some pre-season details that were announced yesterday, just after yesterday's video went live. So we'll cover these off now out of the way. And Leeds have announced 2 additional pre-season friendlies for their upcoming 23-24 pre-season. Leeds have already got Manchester United lined up with a game in Norway on the 12th of July. That is now will be followed up by a friendly in York at the LNER Community Stadium against Ligue 1 side Monaco on the 22nd of July, and then that will be followed up by a game on the 30th of July away in Edinburgh versus Hearts. So has already been labelled as the Phil Hay Derby. So that's that one done. Moving on, let's talk about potential exits. And so there's going to be some exit stuff today, more so than incoming stuff. So we'll start off with this on the exits, and then according to journalist Alfredo Padula, Leeds are expected to lose Willie Gnonto to either Aston Villa or to Everton. Everton were also labelled as having stolen a step on every club that was interested after making formal contact with Leeds last month. That was according to Football League World. However, they're now claiming that Aston Villa are the leading candidates to sign Gnonto. Leeds have got an asking price, a rumoured asking price of €25 million. I would say double that for potential. But Everton's financial situation means a bid of that amount might be difficult for them with the investigations into their financial fair play, and again of potential future breaches of financial fair play for them as well. Unai Emery is labelled as being a fan of Gnonto and is building an exciting side at Aston Villa this summer. And it looks now like Gnonto is the next name on their list of targets. Leeds will hope to keep hold of Willie Gnonto going into the season, as he could have a huge impact on Leeds' promotion aspirations in the Championship this year to get back into the Premier League. So it'll be a big one. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Himself and Somerville are going to be the ones to keep an eye on of the group that could possibly stay but could possibly go. The big news today is around the appointment of a new Leeds United head coach, and according to The Athletic and to Sky Sports Germany, Leeds United will appoint Daniel Farke, or have already appointed Daniel Farke, whether it's happened or not today or not, as a new Leeds United head coach for the 23-24 season. Phil basically sent a report last night from The Athletic saying that terms had been agreed and that Farke was due to fly into Leeds to take training on Wednesday. He was due to arrive today. No announcement necessarily of an actual formal announcement of Farke as the manager. It is the 4th of July. It would look pretty good for an American-owned company to have a new manager on this day. It's a massive coincidence, but Phil has said that the deal is agreed. Everything is in place. He is expected to take training this Wednesday when the players return to the grass. Today and yesterday were testing days for the Leeds players, so no manager really needed to be involved in that, as it's not a full training day, but he will be expected to take the team on the grass on Wednesday, and that looks like it's going to happen. And Phil also confirmed that 3 of Farke's usual backroom staff will be joining him at Leeds. Assistant Eddie Reiner will join up with Farke at Leeds, along with Christopher John and Chris Domagula, who will also join up with Daniel Farke to form the backroom team. It's really good to have that backroom team in place already. We saw the issues last year with Jesse Marsh when he came in, failed to get an assistant manager that he wanted. Rennie Marsh was brought in as a temporary assistant for him, but they didn't get a full-time assistant coach for Jesse Marsh until just before he was fired earlier this season, or this year, apologies. So great to have that in place. Backroom team looks like it's sorted out. Farke looks like he's going to come in and take control of the team. No detail on the contract just yet, but that will probably come out as soon as the announcement comes, as I said, which may have already happened. So we won't make too big a deal about this one. It's been talked about for quite a long time anyway, so it's been expected to be Farke for a while. So there we go. Some interesting things noticed. Some interesting notices, or people noticed on the day one of preseason as well. Yesterday, we saw some new kits, training kits showing off, which is nice to see. But we also saw players returning, and we got a drip feed of pictures of players throughout the course of the day. Liam Cooper turned up for day one, despite the fact that he wasn't due back till next week, having been on international duty with Scotland. But it's good to see the club captain being back in from day one and showing an attitude to lead from the front. So great to see from him. Mark Rocket and Junior Firpo were also pictured in training, despite the fact that they're both expected to move, with Bayo Betis labelled as a likely destination for both players. But they showed up. Great to see that as well. I mean, even for the players that are leaving, turn up and get the first day of preseason out of the way when they could be gone in a couple of days. It's good to see. It's professional. That's what you want to see. Stuart Dallas was also pictured in his training gear walking around the place. There is no update on what the situation is with Stuart Dallas's injury after missing the entirety of last season with a broken femur. It is a hugely serious injury that takes a long time to recover from. As I've been saying all last year, a broken femur is described as a car crash accident. In other words, the force of a car crash is usually what's needed to break a femur. So it can take a long time to recover. But it's good to see him back in Leeds gear, as you can see here. Things you love to see. Stuart Dallas kitted out again. So fingers crossed we'll have him back pretty soon. Under 21s were all former under 21s were also visible at training with Darko, JB Mateo, Joseph and Archie Gray also filmed going through their paces. Returning Joe Gelhardt from loan was also shown. There's a video of Joffrey doing the rounds of him doing some work with his back to goal. A lot of criticism that's been labelled that Joffrey is an inability to play as a number 9 on his own up front. Joffrey's clearly working on that with a lot of back to goal work being done in that video. He's looking leaner. He's looking smaller. He's looking good, which is good for Joffrey. And it could be a huge season for Joffrey, and I really hope it is. Also pictured as well were Sam Greenwood and Pascal Strike in the gear as well, back and ready to go for next season. Again, could be a huge season for Sam Greenwood. If he doesn't make the breakthrough in a championship season, it could be difficult for him to make the breakthrough at any point for Leeds. So this is a huge season for certain players of that crop of young players that came in together. And Greenwood could have a potentially huge season. Same for Pascal Strike if he stays at Leeds. It could be a huge season for him as well to establish himself and to get the two back ends of the last two seasons out of his system and start building a career as a mainstay in the Leeds United team. Possibly. Notable absences today or yesterday were Jack Harrison, who was expected back, having not been on international duty. There was a video circulating of Jack on his social media collecting his dog after returning from his holidays, but nothing about him being in training. The video went up at the same time the players were in training, and he hasn't been pictured in and around training. Harrison is expected to leave Leeds this summer, but currently there's no bids or offers on the table for the player just yet. Just clubs said to be interested, Everton being one of those. It'll be interesting to see over the next couple of days which players we see turn up for training. I would expect Harrison to turn up for training. He's a pro, but interesting to see he's not there yesterday. But it's going to be an interesting couple of days to see who is there and who isn't there. And then the international players are expected back next week, like Rodrigo, Melier and all are expected back then. Charlie Krause will be a later addition coming back, as England are still playing in the Under-21 European Championships as well. So there's that one. Moving on to our second last story of the day, and that's also around exit. And Rodrigo's future is still up in the air, with apparently several clubs now interested in the player. That's a good thing for Leeds, because if Leeds can get a bidding war going for the player, then the $3.5 million release clause all of a sudden doesn't become an issue. Leeds will hopefully look to get upwards of up to 10 million for the player, will be something. But according to Football League World, Rodrigo is a target of Everton and Fulham. Everton again being targeted with Leeds players. He had been lined up by Sevilla, but it's been rumoured that the financial crash at Sevilla and the fact that their entire squad have been put up for sale means that the Sevilla may not be able to finance his £100,000 a week deals. Qatar is also another destination likely for Rodrigo, but again, the possibilities there are he might not get his international place playing in a league like Qatar, although they are doing a lot of them, bringing players in there as well. But a Premier League move looks like it's probably the most likely move, with Everton and Fulham both listed as teams that would like to see him. Fulham, I think, would be a sensible move for Rodrigo in terms of playing with a partner like Mitrovic as well, and a decent side there. Hate to see him go. Rather see him stay, but looks like he will go. But we never know. We'll see next week if he comes back into preseason and what happens. But again, once the managed situation is sorted out today, it'll be a big couple of days. So final story of the day then, and another exit from Leeds. Brendan Aronson agrees terms with Union Berlin, and according to TalkSport, Brendan Aronson will join Union Berlin on a season loan move with an option to buy the player. Union Berlin will play Champions League football next season. Brendan Aronson has some understanding of that region of the world. And yeah, the opportunity to play in Champions League is huge for the player as well, and to keep his full salary. So there is rumour on this, and Talksport are saying there is a very strong possibility that Brendan Aronson will return to Leeds next season, with the 49ers keen to keep the player at the club. But the initial loan is to get the wages off the books as well, but also to keep the player long term. There is an exit clause in Brendan Aronson's contract, but the loan move out for a season and Leeds hopefully getting promoted at the first time of asking would avoid that release clause, and then Aronson come back in. It's expected he will come back in, but there is that option to buy that is being inserted in the contract. There's no rumour just yet, and I'm assuming it will come out when it's been finalised, but nothing just yet on what that actual fee will be in the potential option to buy clause in that contract. And that's going to be it for me today, folks. Not a huge amount of other detail going around yet. I would expect once the Farke deal is announced later today or early tomorrow, I imagine we'll start seeing some things moving pretty quickly. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on what will hopefully be a very busy end of the week for Leeds. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.